The fact that they've done their best to stop Zazi from roaming to bot lane, which I think they actually did a really great job of early on in the game. And then, of course, unfortunately, that play that they tried to make ended up being countered. We'll, of course, be having that Cloud Soul as I remove that circle from your screen.
Hey, it's Twitch chat was going crazy.
The current meta, so again, I remove that other circle.
Bring back the circle!
The circle's persistent, I'll tell you that.
We're back. It's week 5. After a week off, we need to get some more Fantasy League games going. So, before we start, we got corrections. Ryan did a mess up and gave a team a wrong point somewhere, so here's the bottom half of the table with adjusted points, and here's the top. So now that we've got that all out of the way, let's move on to the week 5 rundown and see how the teams did after a week off. So we start every week off like we do with a Friday, and it was Vitality versus SK. Vitality ended up with 2 of the 6 objectives. They picked up the first tower and the Herald, but then the rest of it was basically SK's game, taking the dragon like they do, but they also got the first blood, they got the Baron, and they got the all-important win as well. The game ended up 18-6 in favour of SK. Rogue decided to come back with blood on their hands and on their mind, and ended up with a sweep. Just in case anyone was unsure what a sweep is on this, it was all of the 6 objectives: Tower, Dragon, Herald, Baron, First Blood, win. Schalke, well, they were struggling to even get a kill. They did get a few though, but it ended up 18-4. Fnatic versus Misfits, and this should have been Misfits' game, considering they ended up with all but 1 objective. Just to give you that, they got Tower, Dragon, Baron, Herald, First Blood, but didn't get the win. They just couldn't shut the game out, and Fnatic just slowly got back in and got the game at 10 kills apiece. Mad Lions were again, just like Rogue, doing the good old anything you can do, I can do exactly the same. And they ended up with a sweep as well. Just sweeping all the objectives, making XL feel pretty small. Not that the kills showed it. It ended up 19-9 though. Last game, G2 versus OG. Not getting any mistakes there. G2 ended up with 3 of the objectives: the Dragon, the Herald, and the First Blood. But, just to sum up G2's season so far, OG came back, picked up the tower, got the Baron, and ended up with the win. 13 kills to 3. Day 2, the Saturday, and it was SK's turn to take on Schalke, who, after their first win a couple of weeks back, just got back into the swing of the losing things. Schalke did get the first dragon and the Herald, but SK ended up taking the tower, the Baron, they got the first blood, and overall got the win in a kill fest at 20 kills to 4. Rogue and XL came to blows again. XL ended up with 2 of the 5 objectives taken in this game, ending up with the Dragon and the First Blood. Rogue ended up with the first tower, they got themselves the Herald, but decided that the Baron wasn't really a thing, and ended up with an anticlimactic finish at 8 kills to 4. Game 3, and it was OG versus Misfits, and OG decided they wanted a few more objectives and didn't want to give them all to G2 like they did to Misfits. Misfits ended up with the Dragon and the Baron, a nice steal actually. But OG ended up with the tower, the herald, the first blood, and of course the win. That's that steal. And it ended up 17 kills to 5. Vitality versus Fnatic. Well, this was a game. But before we go through the objectives, it's time to take a moment to appreciate this true shot barrage.
Punish there from self-made. Will this connect?
Dun dun dun.
Oh, you did do it! You've got to be kidding me, self.
Very nice. Right, Fnatic ended up with 4 of the objectives. They got the tower, the dragon, the herald, and the win. Vitality got the baron and the first blood. Not much more to say on that one. Fnatic just having that weird, uneven 2-0 thing that they do. 25 kills to 17. Well, G2 versus Mad Lions. Could anyone say humbled? Well, G2 could. Mad ended up with another sweep. Just taking everything they wanted and keeping it even with Rogue at the top of the leaderboard in the actual LEC. Just a beauty to watch. And it ended up 16 kills to 7. So, here are the week 5 results. At the bottom, Terry had a pretty awful week, unfortunately for him, scoring only 22 points and plumb last for the week. Stefan kept himself in contention, which was a bit odd for what he was attempting to do, ending up joint third with another 2 people at 42 points, as you can see on these little predictions here. But as we keep going, we should see what happened at the top of the table of a relatively high scoring week. So, Martin and Duncan were also there in the 42 point club. D ended up at 44 points, and well, I ended up at 47, which was sort of odd for my consistently average scoring, as you can see with the predictions. But the question really is, how has it affected the main table? And it's good to say that it affected it a lot. So, Terry is now near the bottom with Sapphire, who's still averaging out on good weeks. Andrea has fallen out of the top 4 for the first time. Steph has ended up into 5th, but at the top 4, Martin is there at 198 points, and we've got 3 members of the 200 club. D at 200, myself at 211, and outstepping by a point is Duncan at 212. But will anything change for week 6? You've got to find out. We'll see you next time.